What is going on, guys? Hayden here, and today working on the RX7. Today I am wiring up the bump box and the Transbrake. So my bump box setup is, it is a Holley solid state relay. You can find the info online if you're trying to wire up a bump box for your Holley. I do have a Turbo 400 with a Transbrake. It's a TCI solenoid and TCI valve body. So I should be able to pulse the solenoid pretty quick. Basically make it so instead of like a hard jerk bump, just make it like a nice little creep because I don't want it jumping and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I did already get that wired up and tested it. It works great. I'll show you guys here in just a second. The next thing I am gonna go ahead and wire up is these two 4-ports. So with Holley, the boost control is a little weird because I'm not going to be using a dome pressure sensor, but I'm just going to be using a regular just duty cycle setup, basically a closed loop setup, which is fine with me. I just got to pay attention to it. So since I do have two turbos, I'll be using one 4-port for each, and then the PWM negative that comes, the output out of the Holley will just go to both solenoids. So basically the one PWM is going to control both solenoids, and then the other wire on the solenoid just goes to a 12-volt switched or a 12-volt constant. Doesn't matter, either one. Just yeah, so it makes it super easy, and supposedly was told by Dave that with two 4-ports on it, so a 4-port on each turbo, it makes the boost nice and steady. There's no weird like overshoot and then dip and then all this like back and forth. It's just a solid line. So it makes sense to me. That's how I'm gonna do it like that. And then after that, I did drain a little bit of fluid out of the transmission. And I did get a new idle air control valve. I got an OEM one. I don't know if that was my issue, but for some reason when I would drive around, I would want to stay at $2,000 and it would take forever to come back down. So I need to test that, need to check the trans fluid, get it hot, probably take it to the gas station again and probably take it to the car wash because it's dirty as shit. But if I get all of this stuff done and tested, drive around a little bit, do some logs, kind of fix the cruising and the tip-in, maybe tomorrow take it to the dyno and tune it. Maybe, we'll see, I guess. If everything goes good, we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go ahead and wire up these 4-ports and get them all plumbed and then show you guys what's going on. Before I forget, actually, let me show you guys the bump button. You guys aren't gonna be able to hear it, but so my Transbrake setup is a little bit hood. It's not that hood, but don't mind these wires. I haven't tied them up yet. But so I do have an on-off switch for my Transbrake. Obviously when it's off, the Transbrake button won't be able to be pressed. I have a momentary on-off switch, big button down there. It's a horn button that only activates when the clutch pedal is all the way down. If I don't like this setup, I will change it. I just want to try it because then it allows me to have both of my hands on the steering wheel because I wired in my bump to the windshield washer fluid switch. So it's really nice because this thing doesn't go forward or anything like that. Before I had my Transbrake button on my high beams, so like I'd pull it forward, but then when I'd let it go, it'd flick forward and engage the Transbrake again. So I didn't want to do that. I don't like this setup, but now I can have both hands on the steering wheel and my foot on the clutch. Hopefully, I did talk to my trans builder. He said that if I'm in second and try to hit the Transbrake, he said technically it shouldn't go into it, but I'm not sure. I'm just not gonna hit the Transbrake button after I launch it. If I don't like it, I will get the nice buttons that go on the steering wheel. But let me just show you guys this setup. So basically, I hope you guys can hear it over the fan, but see, switches off, so when I hit this button, Transbrake doesn't work. Now turn it on. Now hit the button. Transbrake is on. Now hit the Transbrake, and then this is my bump button. You'll hear the solenoid basically sound like a machine gun. Hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys. It's really simple. That machine gun sound is basically the solid state relay in the, well, the ECU is actually controlling the solid state relay and interrupting it and setting sending a frequency to it. So that way it's interrupting that solid state relay, and that's what's getting the pulsing. So basically just we'll have to adjust it, but it should allow me to just creep in. So after I hit the first bulbs in stage, get up on the launch control and then just creep in. So that way it's nice and easy. I don't have no crazy jerk bump thing. So really happy with that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get on to wiring the solenoids and plumbing them and doing all that. Okay guys, so I got everything wired up and whatnot. So now it's just time to test the bump setup. So I can hear the solenoid pulsing really good. It seems like it's doing it really fast, so hopefully it's not too violent. I already did warm it up out here a little bit, so I guess we'll see what it does here in just a second. So I'm gonna set the tripod up and show you guys what it does. As you can see, the bump works great on the Transbrake. I still gotta figure out the whole limiter setup, so right now it's just flashing to like 4,500 RPM, but I need to figure that out, just go through some settings. I'll mess with that later tonight, but I think I am gonna go ahead and get out of here. I had a really late night last night and I woke up late as shit today, and this was basically all I had planned for today, was to get this done. And Lucy's over here complaining at me that she wants to leave, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are excited for the RX7. There's a lot of stuff that I gotta learn. There's a lot of stuff that I gotta do still, but it's gonna be sick and rowdy. I hope that little bump and that little launch got you guys excited. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.